Lane Kiffin remains a bright spot in the long college football off-season. The FAU head coach is at it again, taking what could be interpreted as a minor shot at his former employer in Alabama this week. Speaking at a school booster club event on Wednesday, Kiffin needled the Crimson Tide some more when talking about his team's opening game against Oklahoma to kick off the 2018. Here's the video from Palm Beach Post beat writer Jake Ellman. If you can't quite hear it, when referencing the Sooners, Kiffin says, "In the playoff, Bama was 4, so you're getting a better team than Bama." For those a little confused at what he means, the final college football playoff rankings had Alabama as the number 4 team and Oklahoma as the number 2 team, so Kiffin is certainly right on that account. However, as we all know, it was old boss Nick Saban and the Tide who emerged from the tournament with a national title in the end. Heading into the 2018, Alabama will likely be number 1 and number 2 in most major polls, while Oklahoma is generally considered a top 10 team but a tick or two behind the Tide. Still, that's no easy opener for Kiffin and the Owls, and it seems he's making that very clear to supporters while also taking a little shot at the operation in Tuscaloosa at the same time. Either way, good luck in Norman this fall. With summer camp looming closer and closer on the horizon, Justin Fuente has officially filled the lone hole on his Virginia Tech coaching staff. Following up on reports that surfaced Wednesday, Tech confirmed Thursday that Tyrone Nix has been added as Fuente's 10th assistant. Specifically, Nix will serve as the hockey safeties coach. It will mark the first time Nix has overseen anything in that position group since he was the defensive backs coach at Southern Miss in 2000. Defensive coordinator Bud Foster and I both knew we wanted an experienced defensive coach and proven recruiter to fill this position on our staff, Fuente said in a statement. We will get that and much more with Tyrone Nix. We're excited about his proven track record as a coach who can evaluate and develop talent. Just as importantly, we are always looking for individuals who can bring new ideas and concepts to our staff as we continually strive to evolve. We are looking forward to Tyrone and his family joining us in Blacksburg. I'm confident that our student athletes will be challenged by him, while he seeks to develop their potential on a daily basis. Tyrone is a well-rounded, veteran football coach who will help make us better. Nix replaces Galen Scott, who resigned as safeties coach, co-defensive coordinator in April as the result of an extramarital affair. During a coaching career that stretches back to 1995, Nix has spent time as a defensive coordinator at Middle Tennessee State 2015-16, Ole Miss 2008-11 and his alma mater Southern Miss 2001-04, and served as co-defensive coordinator at South Carolina 2005-07 and MTSU 2012-14. This past, he was a defensive analyst at Texas A&M. Texas Tech's task of replacing 4 of their top 5 receivers from last appears as though it will be an even bigger uphill battle than first thought. Red Raiders head coach Cliff Kingsbury announced on Thursday evening that wide receiver Quan Shorts has been dismissed from the team and that the school would not be commenting further on the matter. It turns out there's a good reason for that, even if it still is a bit vague at the moment. Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Beat writer Don Williams, Shorts was booked into the county jail this afternoon, so it took less than 2 hours for the program to formally cut ties. The redshirt junior from Humble, Texas made 3 starts last year and has played in 18 games the past 2s. He had just 9 catches in 2017, but 2 of them went for 2 counts, and he was expected to be a potential starter given how wide open the depth chart was looking for nearly every skill position spot on offense. While the Red Raiders' depth at receiver is no doubt hampered by this news, the team did add former Oregon State QB, WR Seth Collins in April, and he could be in for an increased workload given this bit of news out Lubbock. Either way, a very large looms for Kingsbury at his alma mater in 2018 and the exodus out of town by a variety of players for a variety of reasons isn't super encouraging sign as we hit mid-June. Nice little afternoon bombshell out of Winston-Salem on Thursday as Wake Forest announced 2 suspensions as the result of a violation of team rules. Head coach Dave Clawson announced today that quarterback Kendall Hinton and tight end Thomas Cole have been suspended for the first 3 games of the 2018 due to a violation of team rules. Wake Forest football at Wake Facebook June 14, 2018. While Thomas Cole was set to battle for a rotation spot as a redshirt sophomore, the news is huge for the Demon Deacons because Kendall Hinton was slated to be the team's starting quarterback in 2018. He had been the primary backup to John Wolford the past 3 years, starting against Clemson last, and seemed to win the job coming out of spring practice over sophomore Jamie Newman. Kendall and Thomas made poor decisions and they take responsibility for their actions, head coach Dave Clawson said in a statement. There are consequences to those decisions and we hope they will each learn from this and continue to grow. Now it appears that Newman will get the nod initially when Wake Forest kicks off their upcoming against Tulane and against Towson and Boston College at home. True freshman Sam Hartman, a 3-star recruit out of high school, could also find himself in the mix. All told, Hinton was a 54% passer during his career at Wake, throwing for 1,502 yards and 8 touchdowns while also providing much more of a threat with his legs, 10 career rushing TDs. Now it seems like it's back to the drawing board for Clawson and company, with a critical stretch to open if the team wants to make it back to a bowl game once again. Baylor's massive UAL assault that has rocked the school for the last few years may finally have a light at the end of the tunnel, at least as far as the NCAA is concerned. A report from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram says that the school expects the NCAA enforcement staff's investigation into the program to be complete by the time the upcoming fall semester starts, and that an eventual resolution in the entire matter could be made as early as the spring of 2019. Perhaps even more encouraging, if you want to use that word, given the subject, is that in light of recent rulings such as in the case against North Carolina, it seems school officials are fairly confident that they will not be receiving an earth-shattering penalty in the case. If people are expecting some sort of death penalty, I think they are going to be disappointed, a source told the paper, referring to SMU's infamous program-shattering result back in the late 1980s. Of course, North Carolina's academic fraud case is significantly different from what has gone on in Waco. Baylor is still dealing with numerous lawsuits resulting from the fallout, including one alleging that a total of 31 Bears football players had committed 52 acts of rape over just 4 years. Then head coach Art Briles was fired back in 2016 after reports came to light about what was allegedly going on at the program, and the university even paid him over $15 million to just go away. School president Ken Starr and athletic director Ian McCaw also lost their jobs once several findings were released from an investigation by the law firm Pepper Hamilton. NCAA cases are notoriously difficult to read and predict, however, so despite the cautious optimism that things can move somewhat quickly over the coming months, there can always be unforeseen twists and turns. Until the day finally comes that there is some closure between the organization and Baylor, however, head coach Matt Rhule and those at the school will have to continue to deal with this still unfolding for some time to come.